Hello and welcome to the video lecture on external hardware interrupt in 8051 using KIL in embedded C. Now let us first understand what is the meaning of an external interrupt in 8051. So basically there are two external hardware interrupts in 8051 microcontroller and which are named as INT0 and INT1. Now these two interrupts they are basically generated through the physical port pins which are port pin 3.2 and port pin 3.3 for INT0 and INT1 respectively. Upon activation of these pins, the 8051 gets interrupted and it will jump to the vector table to perform or to execute the interrupt service routine. Now let us understand what is the external interrupt 0 and how this interrupt is activated. This is INT0 which is also called as EX0. This is an external interrupt which is connected internally to the port pin 3.2. And how to give the interrupt? So externally you can connect a switch for this purpose, and when you press a switch, then in that case the microcontroller will get interrupted. That means whenever you want to give this interrupt through kill or through simulation process, in that case you have to toggle the port pin 3.2. So when we toggle the port pin 3.2, the interrupt will be generated and the signal will be given to the microcontroller, and then the microcontroller will take the corresponding action and execute the interrupt service routine. Now as in this case the port pin 3.2 is used for INT0 and port pin 3.3 is used for INT1. We cannot use the entire port 3 for the data transfer. That is what is one thing to remember in this case. Second one is INT1, which is external interrupt 1. This is again a second hardware interrupt, which is another name is EX1. It is internally connected via port pin 3.3, and again if we want to give this interrupt or generate or activate this interrupt, then in that case we have to toggle the port pin 3.3. Now how to activate the interrupt, how to toggle the pin, and how the processor respond to all this process, that we are going to see in the kill demonstration in the same video. Now in case of an embedded C, you have to remember these interrupt numbers. These are very very important, because here whenever you are going to write the interrupt service routine, then the interrupt number is mandatory. So unless and until you give the interrupt number, then the controller won't understand that how to transfer the control to the vector routine. So here are the numbers. So for external interrupt 0, the number used is 0, and for external interrupt 1, the number used is 2. So whenever we are going to write the interrupt service routine for INT0 and INT1, then there will be two separate interrupt service routines, and when we'll write it for INT0, we have to mention the number 0, and when we are writing it for external interrupt 1, we have to write the number 2. That I will again explain in the program. Now whenever you toggle, or whenever we toggle the port pin 3.2 or port pin 3.3, one more setting also you have to do in the interrupt enable register. So this is basically used to enable or disable the individual interrupt. So here you can see that the for external interrupt 0, you have a pin EX0, and if you want to enable this particular interrupt, then you have to make this pin is equal to 1 and you keep all other pins 0. But that means you have to make it 0 0 0 0 0 0. But this one EA pin, which is enable all pin, this also you have to make it 1 for enabling or disabling the individual interrupt. So whenever you want to deal with the INT0 interrupt, or whenever you want to activate the external hardware interrupt 0, then in the IE register you have to load the format 10000001. That means this 1000 is 8 and 0001 is 1. So you have to load 81 value in IE. Now suppose you want to activate say INT1 interrupt, then in that case you have to make it 0 and make this is equal to 1, because this EX1 is for external hardware interrupt 1. So now in that case you have to load this 1000 is 8 and 0100 is 4. So you have to load the value 84 in I. And suppose you want to enable both the external hardware interrupt, that is EX0 as well as EX1, then make both these pins 1 1. So in that case you have to load the format I is equal to 8 and 0101 is 5, so 85. So remember that these values you have to load depending upon which interrupt you want to enable. Okay, so this is what is an important register whenever you want to enable or disable a particular interrupt. Now there is a one more register, this called as a interrupt priority register, by using which you can set the priorities to high or low. And in this case, if you can see, by using this px0, you can set a priority of external hardware interrupt 0. This is for timer 0. This is for setting a priority of external hardware interrupt 1. This is for timer interrupt 1. This is for serial communication. PT2 here we are not using because this is for timer 2, but the timer 2 is not present in 8051 basic version. So here we are simply neglecting this thing. Now whenever you want to set the priority to high, then you have to make that particular bit is equal to 1. So how to change the priority and how to load the different value in the IP register, that also we are going to see in this video. So this is a again a important register for setting the priority. Now we'll deal with one problem statement and we'll go for the program. So write a C program using the external interrupt 0, INT 0 and INT 1 to increment the counter when INT 0 occur, and we have to decrement the same counter when the INT 1 occurs. So here we are dealing with both external hardware interrupts. But when INT 0 will be activated, in that case our counter should get incremented, and when INT 1 will be activated, then that the same counter will get decremented by 1. So now let us understand how to write the program for the same and how to change the priority through the program. So this is a program for the same. Now the first line in the program is a header file which is reg51.h, and this header file is basically contains all the definitions for 8051 microcontroller. Here we are using a port 0 which we have defined as a LED. So wherever in the main program you want to refer to port 0, now it will be written as an LED. Now we have taken one variable which is called as a count variable, and initial value of the count variable is 0. This is just for keeping the track of how many times the counter value is incremented and decremented. So for that reason we need to take one variable named count. Now this part is the interrupt service routine that we have written for interrupt 0. So this is what is a part of an ISR for INT 0. So if you can see here, void extent 0, this is the name of the interrupt service routine which you can change, and after that you have to write the interrupt number. So interrupt 0, this is compulsory, you have to write this interrupt number, and inside this we have just written count plus plus, because whenever the interrupt 0 is activated, we want to increment the counter value. Then we have written the ISR for the external hardware interrupt 1. So the interrupt number for that is 2. I have shown you in the table. So void extint1 interrupt 2. And whenever this interrupt is activated, we want to decrement the counter. So I have written count minus minus. Then we have written the main program. So in the main program, for changing the priority, I have loaded the value of IP, but right now I am not focusing on that. So first you have to load the value in the I register. So just now we have discussed that whenever we want to activate or enable both the interrupt INT0 and INT1 or EX0 and EX1, we have to load the value 85. So I have given I is equal to 0x85, and in the main program whatever is the count value that I am going to assign to the LEDs, that is to the port 0. So that value or that count value you can observe on to the port 0. Now when you execute the program, how it will get executed, that we'll see in the kill demonstration. Okay. So let's go to the kill. So see here, this is the same program whatever we have discussed just now. Now I will debug the program step by step. So this is the first ISR, this is the second ISR. I am just separating for understanding purpose, and this is a main. So now I will first save this. I will build this program. So here you can see there are no any errors and no any warnings. Now I will go to the debug session, and now here we will take the port 0. I will go to this interrupt system also. So we'll see this interrupts, then we'll see IO port. So we will take port 3 for activating the interrupt, and also for checking the output we will need port 0. So we will take the port 0. Okay, so this is sufficient thing. Now we'll start debugging the program. So step by step debugging I will do. So here there is an icon step F11. I am going to press it. So now see here, first it will go to the main. Just a minute, I will just reset this. We'll again start debugging. Okay. So now first line is I is equal to 0x85. Now when this line is executed, you can see the difference in the interrupt system. So right now no any interrupt request is generated, but when this line gets executed, then you will find that INT0 and INT1, both these interrupts will be enabled. So now let's see that. So see here, when the line is executed, EN enabled, INT0 is enabled here, as well as INT1 is enabled. So enabled, both the interrupts have enabled. Now it will go to the while 1, and it will simply put the count value to the port 0. So initially we know that the count value is 0. So right now you can see that the port 0 is showing you 0. So now the microcontroller is busy in doing this task. Okay, but now when the interrupt is activated or generated, then the control will be transferred to the corresponding interrupt service routine. Now I will generate the interrupt. So first we will see the individual interrupt, and then we'll go for the both the interrupts. So now let's first activate the interrupt INT0, so which is given through port pin 3.2. So here it is also written. So I will toggle this pin, so 0, 1 and 2. So I have toggled the pin. So initially it is 1, I have made it 0. Now when I have made it 0, now again I will go for single stepping, and you can see that the control is transferred to this interrupt service routine. Now here inside the routine we have said that increment the count value. So now let us see whether the count value gets incremented or not. So yes, count value is incremented. Now we'll take out this interrupt, so that it will again come to the main program. And now whatever is the count value will be given to the LED. So here you can see now it is showing 1 value, because the count is incremented by 1. Now again if you generate the same interrupt, so here 3.012, again I have given the interrupt. So again the control will be transferred to the same place. Again it will increment the count, and if you take out the interrupt, then it will again come back and increment the count. So you can see here the count value is incremented to 2. So this is how the INT0 works. Now we'll see how the INT1 works. So for that we have to give the toggle port pin 3.3. So 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 and 3.3. Now I will give this, and now let's check where the control will go. Now you can see here the control is transferred here to the interrupt 1 service routine, where we have written count minus minus. So now it will decrement the count value, and it will come out, and now that decremented count value will be given. So see here, you can easily observe initially it was 2, now it has become 1. So now here you can see I have not removed the interrupt. So when it comes to the main program, it will see that still it is interrupted. So again it will go to the same service routine, and it will again decrement the count. It will come to the main program and see here, and it will make it 0. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll give the here both the interrupts simultaneously. Okay, so I will give the interrupt simultaneously 0 and 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 and 3.3. Okay, so okay. Now I have given both the interrupts simultaneously, but see here I have not defined any priority, or I have not set any priority. So by default it will take the priority, and if we can see according to the priority, we'll see which interrupt will get activated. So now again I will run the program. Now both these are activated. Now you can see it has the control is passed to the interrupt 0. That means the high priority interrupt is int 0. In int 0 and int 1, if you compare this, then high priority is given to the int 0 by default. Okay, we have not set any priority. So now again it will increment the count value, it will come outside, it will display it on port, again it will go there, again it will increment the count. So unless and until you remove that particular interrupt, that is int 0, it will always serve the high priority interrupt. Now you can see here the count will be 6, 7 and so on. So it will go on counting. But remember that if you want to change the priority, that means in this case we have not set any priority, only we have activated the interrupt simultaneously. But if you want to change the priority, then in that case you have to use the IP register. So here I have shown you the IP register. Now here you can see in this case I have to change the priority, and I want to change the priority to the px1. That means I want to make it equal to 1. Okay, so then in that case I am going to make this bit px1 bit is equal to 1. So I will make it 1, and then the format will come, this is all 0 0 0 0, only this bit is 1. So 0 4 is a value. So you can see in the program that I have loaded IP is equal to 0x04. So this is for changing the priority. So now in the main program we have to also add the line IP is equal to 0x04 and I is equal to 0x85. Now I will again save and build this, and again we'll go to debug, and again we'll check the priority. Okay, now here again I will give both the interrupts simultaneously 0 1. So 1, this is 3.2 and this is 3.3. I have toggled both the interrupts, and now again I will go by single step. So now IP, now here you can see priority is set. So INT1 is having a highest priority, this is 1, and both the interrupts are enabled. So now LED is equal to count, so it has become 0, and now as per priority the control is now transferred to this INT1. So in the last case you have seen that the control is given to the INT0 because by default that priority is higher, but now we have changed the priority using the IP register, and therefore now it will just decrement the count value. Now it will come out, it will reflect that on port 0. So actually 0 0 0 minus 1, that's what is showing you error. And now unless and until you remove that interrupt, it will again and again interrupt it and give the highest priority to the INT1 interrupt. So this is what all about the external hardware interrupt programming in 8051 and using embedded C along with the IP register or along with the priority. So if you like my video, then please share the video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please write the comments because your comments are always valuable. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.